Good morning and welcome. My name is Janine Cummings. It is always such a joy to spend this time with you. All right, everybody, let's lift our heart in praise. Early in the morning, when I rise, I lift my hands in praise because I'm alive. And late at night, when I lay down, I lift my heart in praise for the love I found. And I sing, ooh, 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 for the love I found. Let's do it again. Early in the morning, when I rise, I lift my hands in praise because I'm alive. And late at night, when I lay down, I lift my heart in praise for the love I found. And I sing, ooh, 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 for the love I found, for the love I found, for the love I found.
Thank you, Janine, and good morning, everybody. Greg Saltis here, welcoming you to the Unity of Olympia streaming service. You know, in this pandemic, when we can't get together, I find myself feeling very grateful for the fact that we now have the electronics so that we can come together. Wherever you are, we are together as community, praying together, being together in this virtual way. Sure beats not seeing everybody. Sure beats not having it available to us. At Unity, we believe in a philosophy that is a positive, love-based spirituality that helps us to become models of positive living. And now Reverend Terry will light the Christ candle and pray us in.
Thank you, Greg. And at Unity, we honor all faith traditions and all paths to God. We recognize that the divine lives within all people in all places. We use the candle as a symbol of that light that shines within all people. So we light it again today. Please join me in prayer. Spirit, we open to a greater awareness of your light, of your love, and of your peace. We welcome it. We invite it in to make its home in our hearts, in our minds, and in every cell of our bodies. In perfect faith, we recognize that this peace, planted firmly within us, shines forth into the world, into every one of our relationships, with community, with individuals, with family, and friends. That this light of peace blesses all humanity. And we are so grateful to be a part of this world. Thank you, God. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Terry. As most of you are now aware, the fellowship following the service has a theme that we can focus our attention on. And today's theme will be peace. What's the relationship between peace and an awareness of abundance? The link is showing right now, as well as being on the Unity e-blast that you should have received yesterday. If you're new to Unity, I particularly want to extend an invitation to you to join us so that we can see your face and enjoy your conversation and your thoughts on the theme. Today's daily word will be read by Audrey Pitchford.
Thank you, Greg. Today's daily word is peace. Peace flows through me and blesses the world. The light of God shines within all people. I pause to remember this truth as I consider the world and my relationship to it. Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you," in the book of John, chapter 14, verse 21. The same divine light that lived in Jesus is shining brightly in me. My peace is a gift I choose to give to the world. I bless the world by affirming the kingdom of God is among us here and now. It is through this Christ-centered awareness that I project a consciousness of peace. I live, move, and have my being in the light, love, and peace of God. I expand my awareness of divine ideas through prayer and meditation, and I do my part to uplift the consciousness of the entire planet. I am walking in the light of God, and I am at peace. And from the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 24, the nations will walk by its light, and the kings of the earth will bring their glory into it. Peace flows through me and blesses the world, and I invite you to affirm that with me. Peace flows through me and blesses the world, and so it is.
Thank you very much, Audrey. This is the time in our service where we can affirm our statement of faith, and I invite you to join me with "There is only one." Together, please. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good, all power, presence, and wisdom. It is in God that we live, move, and have our being, and we know this is so.
Thank you, Greg. All right. Peace, I need you to rock me till my worries fall away. Peace, I need you to rock me till my worries fall away. I'm calling peace. Oh, please rock me. Peace, I need you to hold me till my courage comes to life. Peace, I need you to hold me till my courage comes to life. I'm calling peace. Oh, please hold me. Oh, won't you hold me? Come on and hold me. Peace, I need you to soothe me in the loving light of God. Peace, I need you to soothe me in the loving light of God. I'm calling peace. Oh, please soothe me. Oh, won't you soothe me? Come on and soothe me. Oh, won't you soothe me? Come on and soothe me.
Yeah, peace. Come on and soothe me. You know, there's this idea that happens within consciousness, I believe, that happens to most people. When we start thinking about peace, we think about its opposite. We think about not peace. What does it mean to not have peace? I want to start with recognizing that, hey, you know what? It's Christmas time. It's Christmas time. It's December. We're in Advent, the second Sunday of Advent, which is all about peace. I want to read something that was written by a Unity minister. Boy, I think it was 1927 is when she wrote this. And it means the same today as it did then. Francis Fulks was a minister ordained in 1923. The spirit of Christmas is in the air. Men, women, and children everywhere are feeling a touch of the Christmas spirit. Whoever tunes into the spirit of Christmas and sends forth its message of peace and goodwill, again receives the message from those who also have been open to receive it. So it becomes a universal spirit, constantly giving forth from one to another that which is uplifting, inspiring, and joy-giving. The spirit of Christmas is in the air. Have you become receptive to it? It's being broadcast from the hearts of those who have caught its message of life, love, peace, and joy. It's being broadcast to everyone. We hear it in the voices of people as they speak kindly and joyously. There is a lilt to their voices, as if a heart song were being released. The spirit of Christmas is in the air. The spirit of Christmas is in the air. You know, we keep thinking, and I'm guessing I use the royal we, but perhaps it doesn't include you. And so if you want to exclude yourself, you certainly may. But I think that there's a lot of people who keep thinking that this Christmas is not quite right. That the holiday season during a pandemic is wrong, and that we will get back to normal, and next year will be a great Christmas. Next year will be peace-filled. This year is worry-filled. This year is protecting ourselves. This year is protecting our loved ones. This year is lonely. And I want to say that's not true. That the Christ essence that lives is living right here, right now, this year. And that this year, as much as any year, but because now is now, it matters more. It matters more right now that we embrace peace. There is plenty of good right here, right now. I want to tell a story about a king. There was a king in a kingdom who sent out an edict across the land proclaiming that he needed to own and he would reward an artist who created a piece of art that depicted peace. And so all of these painters across the kingdom began sending in their greatest works. People would go into this gallery that the king had set up and view these art pieces. And there was one piece that was of this calm lake that mirrored the mountain behind it, that was set majestically there in the background, snow caps, and then the blue sky above that with white fluffy clouds still just hanging in the sky. And most people who came through the gallery thought for sure this would be the winner. So when the contest came to an end and the king chose his painting, most people were shocked because it was a painting of an angry sky with mountains that were bare, rocks, and trees that had since seen the glory days long past. And when people took a look at that, they had to be told why that showed a picture of peace. And the king said, look closer. Look at the rock there on the side of the mountain. Look at the bush. There's one bush filled with life. And there's a tree. There's a bird sitting there in a nest in that bush. And in that nest, there are eggs. Right in the midst of the storm, there's peace. This is our calling right now, is to be the peace in the midst of an experience that so many people are finding challenging. We in Unity, we are the ones that are called up to be this. We have been practicing. You have been practicing. You are the ones that can share peace with your family, with your neighbors, with your loved ones. And just as the poem that Francis Folks wrote and I read today, as you share that peace with others, you will receive it. As you broadcast it out, your ability to receive that very experience increases and grows. Last month, I spent a lot of time studying the Beatitudes. The Beatitudes are, well, actually, it's a list of sayings, a list of attitudes that Jesus suggested that we take. And we studied it from the book of Matthew. Now, most Bible scholars believe that before Matthew, the author of Matthew, ever put this in narrative form, that the documents that people had were just these lists of sayings, much like we find from the Gospel of Thomas. As a matter of fact, that's where most Bible scholars have come to agree more solidly that, yeah, it was probably just this list of sayings, and the authors of the Gospels put them together in a narrative form. So last month we went over the Beatitudes, which were the first sayings turned into this story about Jesus being on a mountainside surrounded by people, his followers, and teaching them how to be, what attitudes to have. And immediately following the Beatitudes is this saying: you are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its flavor, how can it be made salty again? It's no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. So here's the deal. Salt, during the time of Jesus' life, was worth its weight in gold, literally. It was literally worth the same as gold. Roman soldiers were frequently paid with salt instead of coins, instead of gold coins. The word salt actually comes from the same word, or excuse me, the word salary actually comes from the same root word that is salt. At that time, with no refrigeration, salt could mean the difference between life and death. It was used to preserve life. Now, we think of it as sort of cheap and common because we all have it. It's easily available. Most of us have refrigeration. So it's not that big a deal. But when Jesus was saying this, he was saying something that was a really big deal. He said, you are priceless. You are priceless. In metaphysics, we take a look at this idea that salt brings out the flavors, and earth represents our human consciousness. It is about the way that we think and behave in the world. It's about worldly behavior. You know, the saying, we're spiritual beings having a human experience. It's the human experience part. And so when Jesus said, you are the salt of the earth, he's saying, you are the priceless ones that bring out the God essence in the human experience. It's a much bigger deal than I had previously thought. And I'm really enamored with this saying. As we move closer and closer into Christmas, I think about the many people who do not have our teachings, who are having an experience of wishing and perhaps begging an outside God to fix things for them. And I am not interested in making anybody wrong at this point. What I am interested in is encouraging you and myself alike to recognize that we are the ones that have been called to spread peace. We are the ones, because of our teachings. Unity of Olympia's vision statement says that we hold a vision of a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of spiritual awakening. Knowing peace in the midst of turmoil is a practice of spiritual awakening. Sharing that with others is growing that movement. We don't have to have people come to church or watch on Sunday morning or decide that they're a part of Unity of Olympia to be a part of that. We don't have to talk about Jesus to be a part of that. If they're receptive, if their friends and neighbors and family are receptive, great. If not, be peace. The affirmation today from the Daily Word: peace flows through me and blesses the world. I want to tell another story. This one's about a monkey. There was this carefree little monkey who lived in the jungle, and one day was very close to the village. He was so close to the village, in fact, that he was able to see into a few houses. As he got closer to the window, he saw on the table some red, beautiful, gorgeous apples that he could not resist. And he went scampering into this one little house in this village, and he took these 2 apples off of the table and he went running back out into the forest, into the jungle. He looked at this apple and he smelt it, but he couldn't smell anything. Well, he decided to take a bite out of it, and it hurt his teeth. It was a wooden apple. He couldn't hardly believe it, but it was still so beautiful. So he took these 2 apples that he had, and he enjoyed their beauty, forgetting that he was hungry. As he wandered through the forest, he came across a banana grove and remembered that he was hungry. And he looked at these apples, and the idea of putting them down, it was not acceptable to him. And so he moved on. He moved away from that grove. Other monkeys saw what he had, and they wanted to hold the apples as well, but he couldn't let them. Finally, he got to another place where there was fruit growing off of every tree limb, and he put those apples down, and he got a banana, and he ate, and he was filled, and he was happy. It's a simple little story, but the truth is that we have this idea of what Christmas is, of what Christmas should be, and we're at the point where we have to put that red apple down. We have to put that red apple down and be open to being filled and satisfied through a new experience this year. I was thinking about the word pandemic. You know, it's pan is everything, all inclusive. And I've taught lessons where we talk about panentheism, this idea that God is present in all things, in all people, in all places, in all times. The truth is, I believe that God presence, the divine essence, is absolutely everywhere. But the virus isn't. It's around, but it's not the same. We call it a pandemic because it's all over the globe, but it's not a part of who we are, and it will end. It will subside because it's who and what we are that lives on. It's life itself. that continues to be made manifest, not illness. You know, in closing, I'd like to read a poem. This is a Christmas poem from Maya Angelou. Thunder rumbles in the mountain passes, and lightning rattles the eaves of our houses. Floodwaters await us in our avenues. Snow falls upon snow, falls upon snow to avalanche over unprotected villages. The sky slips low and gray and threatening. We question ourselves. What have we done to so affront nature? We worry God. Are you there? Are you there really? Does this covenant you made with us still hold? In this climate of fear and apprehension, Christmas enters. Streaming lights of joy, ringing bells of hope, and singing carols of forgiveness high up in the bright air. The world is encouraged to come away from rancor. Come the way of friendship. It is the glad season. Thunder ebbs to silence and lightning sleeps quietly in the corner. Floodwaters recede into memory. Snow becomes a yielding cushion to aid us as we make our way to higher ground. Hope is born again in the faces of children. It rides on the shoulders of our aged as they walk into their sunsets. Hope spreads around the earth, brightening all things, even hate, which crouches breeding in dark corridors. In our joy, we think we hear a whisper. At first, it is too soft, then only half heard. We listen carefully as it gathers strength. We hear a sweetness. The word is peace. It is louder now. It is louder. Louder than the explosion of bombs. We tremble at the sound. We are thrilled by its presence. It is what we have hungered for, not just the absence of war, but true peace. A harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesies, security for our beloveds and their beloveds. We clap hands and welcome the peace of Christmas. We beckon this good season to wait a while with us. We, Baptist and Buddhist, Methodist and Muslim, say, come, peace. Come and fill us and our world with your majesty. We, the Jew and the Jainist, the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you to stay a while with us, so we may learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see community. It is Christmas time, a halting of hate time. On this platform of peace, we can create a language to translate ourselves to ourselves and to each other. At this holy instant, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ into the great religions of the world. We jubilate the precious advent of trust. We shout with glorious tongues at the coming of hope. All the earth's tribes loosen their voices to celebrate the promise of peace. We, angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at our world and speak the word aloud. Peace. We look at each other, then into ourselves, and we say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother. Peace, my sister. Peace, my soul.
We bow our heads as we come together in peace. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We bow our heads as we come together in peace. Ooh, we bow our heads as we come together in peace.
And so I invite you into a time of meditation. And close your eyes and let your body sink more deeply into the chair or the couch or the floor or the bed, wherever it is that your body is residing in this moment. Let us rest deeply. Let peace move in and through every part of the body. Let it claim its place in your heart. Let it stake its claim in your mind, in your thoughts. Be a home for peace. It lives in you, it thrives in you. I invite you to breathe deeply. And as you reach the top of the breath, hold it for just a moment and then release. Peace, peace, peace. Imagine this peace like a river flowing in and through all of who and what you are. It is the Christ consciousness of peace that recognizes you in this moment. that blesses you in this moment. You are consecrated in peace. The world moves around you. And whatever the activity of the world is, you bring to it a gift this Christmas. As people move around you, even your own thoughts move in ways that you cannot explain. Peace is the foundation underlying everything within you. We imagine it like the color blue seeping into every thought. Every word that comes from your mouth. Every vision that your eyes see. Peace. It flows through you and blesses the world. The affirmation from today's daily word: peace flows through me and blesses the world. Peace flows through me and blesses the world. Be with that for just a few moments in the silence. Peace flows through me and blesses the world. Peace flows through me and blesses the world. All that I have is enough. It is enough love, enough faith, enough joy, and enough peace. All that I have is enough to share. I invite you to breathe deeply again. And we relax. Find peace in every part of our body, in every corner of our mind, and in every experience of the heart. Thank you, God.
We bow our heads as we come together in peace. Ooh, we bow our heads as we come together in peace.
Today's worship team wants to welcome each and every one of you to our streaming service, knowing full well that it is feeding your spirit while we are still unable to come together and meet at the church building. Together we can continue to hold the high watch for our church, the earth, and everyone on it. Today we are adding a new affirmation to acknowledge the territory on which we house the church, the land on which we house the church. The new affirmation is this one. We acknowledge that this land and water is the traditional territory of the Stay-Chos people. The Stay-Chos people are the Squaxin Island tribe. The surrounding mountains, valleys, shorelines, and waterways are imbued with their presence. We have several announcements today. I have to tell you, Lisa Petrich, our amazing youth ed director, has come up with a new virtual classroom. Now, I just have to tell you that we had a worship team meeting the other day, and some of us had the opportunity to check it out. And it's awesome. You really want to go onto this. You can find it on the Unity website, or as always, you can contact Lisa at youth@unityofolympia.org. Our equally wonderful community engager, Kathy Evans, informs me that the Wednesday lunch program will be ongoing. However, it is no longer at 2828 Martin Way, but rather now at the First Methodist Church. I am so proud that she told me that all of the December Wednesdays are already spoken for. What a fabulous community we live in, where we're ready to serve those who are less fortunate than we are. Kathy, however, is looking for people to sign up into January of next year, as this will continue to be an ongoing project. By the way, for those of you who have gifts for the children at Evergreen Vista Apartments, Kathy also mentioned that if you would like to drop off the gifts on these Wednesdays at the First Methodist Church, she will simply pop her trunk open. You can toss the gifts in, and she can collect it for you. Let's see. Oh, next week. Well, actually, December has a tremendous number of things going on. I'm just really excited about all the things happening in December. Next week, we will have a guest musician, Johanna Beekman, who will be joining us. And Reverend Terry's message next week will be about love. So you don't want to miss that one. Our Sunday service on December 20th is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to have multiple individuals performing both songs and readings. So we're going to be doing Christmas songs, Christmas stories, and we really want you to join us. Kathy Evans said that she would also be at the church on the 20th in case for the last second people that are the wait till the last moment buyers, you can also drop off your gifts with Kathy on the 20th at the church. Now, this is really exciting. For those of you who love the spiral walk, it is back. We're actually going to do it on the 21st. There is a lot of news about this on the website that you can read, but this year it will be an outdoor event. It'll be happening out on the patio. Masks will be required, no exceptions. So if you have friends that are coming, please let them know that without a mask, they will not be able to participate in this. We will be keeping social distancing. Reverend Terry does need some volunteers. It'll be happening between 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock. And it'd be great if you could volunteer to help Reverend Terry out with this walk, but it will be outdoors this year, kind of exciting. Let's see. What else do I have here? James Tierney and Terry will be officiating and running a Christmas Eve service. So that will begin on the 24th, obviously, at 5 o'clock. So that will be our candle lighting service. So for those of you who picked up your candles during the Pie on the Fly, you'll be able to actually participate. And this is really kind of cool because Reverend Terry will also be hosting a Zoom room so that we can actually be together at the service. Well, be together like in the fashion that we are right now. So the link will be available on the weekly e-blast. So do keep your eye out for that, for the Christmas Eve candle lighting service. Reverend Terry's launching a brand new series starting on December 27th at 10 a.m. It will be 30 Days to Fearless Living. So that is something new. And finally, we will have our burning bowl ceremony that James Tierney will be leading, and that will be the first Sunday in January. So a lot of things going on. Really pay attention to the newsletters, because there are many more details in there. Now, last week, Paul Swanda, the treasurer of the Council of Trustees, gave us a report that there were some shortfalls in the income with our conscious contributions. But I'm very, very pleased to tell you that at the Pie on the Fly event, the generosity came pouring out. And in fact, on that day, approximately $2,800 were collected. And then Reverend Terry had the Giving Tuesday, the following Tuesday, and another $1,500 were gathered. So I really want to thank all of you who generously donated to the good of the church. As you know, the church has ongoing expenses, and it's very important that we continue to support the church so that the church can do its important work and also get its message out to those who really would like to be a part of it. So I know many of you are electronic contributors. Some of you mail your checks in, all very much appreciated. If you are a texter, you can text in to 360-234-2669. And as we begin to look ahead to the new year, if I may, I would like to request that maybe you look into your heart and think about how it is that you might possibly be able to up your donations, your conscious contributions, so the church can remain really fiscally on solid footing. Thank you so much. However it is that you give, let us take your conscious contributions into our minds and let us bless it with divine love. I invite you to join me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Open to the sacred richness of our infinite source, we as Unity of Olympia joyfully co-create unlimited prosperity right now. Thank you, God.
Thank you, Greg. May the light of justice, truth, and grace lead our country home to freedom, freedom, freedom for us all. May the light of justice, truth, and grace lead our country home. May it lead our world home. And we'll rise up until freedom has been won for each of us. May the light of justice, truth, and grace lead our country home. May it lead our world home. May it lead our world home.
Hey, I hope that you're all singing along with me and Janine, and I don't know who else is singing here in this production studio, but sometimes I think you're going to end up hearing me singing as I'm joining in with Janine. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for being willing to have peace be a part of your life and what you share with others. You know, this month, Unity Worldwide Ministries theme, which they give us a theme that we can follow every single month. This month is plenty. I am plenty. I have plenty. I have plenty to share. And I affirm that that is absolutely true. That is the truth for you and for me and for our community. I also want to echo Greg's deep appreciation for the extra gifts that you have provided for Unity of Olympia so that we can continue to pay our staff and keep our building and grounds working the way that they're supposed to be working. because we together have plenty. So please join us in our closing prayer. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. And all is at peace. Merry Christmas.